Hello everybody, this is Big Benedict. We're playing DMC4 on DMD mode, and this is mission 14. It's called The Forest of Ruin. Even though there's no boss fight on this chapter, it can still be particularly annoying with regard to the nemesis, or the cysts on the ground, the parasites, the eaters on the ground here. So what happens is, if they eat you, you'll be sent to an underground part of the jungle, and you'll have to fight the upgraded blades with the nemesis with their flailing arms, and they're very problematic. And if you clear the session down there, you'll be transported back up to wherever your last checkpoint was, but you'll lose any progress. Is like, for instance, if you're in the middle of doing a battle, for instance, with the blitzes and the blades. Say you were on the blitz phase, having killed one or more of the blades, and get eaten, you're going to have to clear the underground jungle area, or perish, or succeed, and then be sent back to the beginning of the fight where you were just starting the blades in the blitz fight. So, one such strategy that I have been doing since early on in my campaigns on these games is to clear all the parasites first. And it's worth it though, because the number of times you don't think you're going to get eaten, but I guarantee you will. And even if you're trying to pick a spot like where you know, because on the ground they'll always be in like for not all of them, but one of them will be in a general area on the ground. He might move around a little bit, but his position doesn't move drastically, and it just depends on what map you're on, how many you're going to get. For instance, this one I don't care about the. It's just because we're going to be fleeing from the blitz so much that you're going to need to get these pests out of the way. So for this area here, we just killed the. Have we killed the other one? Okay, we have the Faust here, having just killed the two Mephistos, and I'm also going to show you guys how the Royal Guard gauge works. Do you see to the top left of the screen under the letter R? There's a little gauge there. It looks like a battery, kind of an empty battery. I'll show you how that actually works in a later chapter when I start implementing that. But it has to do with Royal Guard blocks and Royal releases. So, okay, so you will get yourself a checkpoint, because I died many times trying to show you guys how to do this correctly. But it's not imperative that you kill the parasites, but there's 8 of them, and it is best to get them off. Now, one downside of killing the parasites first is that it will take so much time that it's not going to take forever, but it'll take just enough time so that the blades will start double triggering. And the way the spawn of the blitz works is that you kill one blade, then the blitz will spawn. I think there's 3 blades. Let's see, this is the checkpoint area right here. So here's the first one. So I'm just ignoring the blades, and I'm going in the areas where these parasites are. The locations never vary; they're all the same. So there's the second one. Here's the third one. The fourth one is down here. Fifth one resides somewhere, I think, on the other side of the stairs, right over here. This just makes it a lot easier and ensures that you won't get beat. Okay. Swallowed, that is. It's the 6th, and that's the only one up here. But when you go down the stairs, there's going to be one right here, 7. And now the enemies have started to double trigger, but don't worry. And then the last one should be right over here somewhere. There he is. So with the last one killed, and another problem about killing those last is that they do give off a little bit of health if you needed it. So. Okay, so with all those guys gone, I'm just kind of circulating to make sure there's no more left. Now I'm going to... How many blades are there? Are there only 2? Or 3? So I know I haven't killed any. If I had killed any, the blitz would be here. I think there's only 2. That's not bad, honestly. So we've killed one. There's the blitz. He's coming in to do his craziness here. So we're looking to do charge shots with a shotgun here because I think it works the best. The reason I don't use the Pandora is because there's too much recovery time off the shot. And these guys go down pretty easily. The blades aren't an issue with Dante, and use your devil trigger to take care of them. It'll gradually build up, and if you have to taunt this guy or use a devil star, wow, that was crazy range right there. If you have to use your devil trigger to get out of that attack right there. So it's the same strategy as before. We're just taking care of him via the gunshots. Don't waste the devil trigger because you'll need that to do the distortion once we get this guy settled. It's kind of weird with this guy because sometimes he does absolutely nothing. Sometimes he kind of crawl. I mean, I'm talking about when he gets out of his electric phase. Sometimes he'll be very placid and just stand there. Sometimes he'll kind of crawl around very slowly. Other time he slashes at you. So, see, like for instance right there. But I've seen him do it even more violently. So, just do your distortion. And did you see that? I used the devil trigger distortion so much that he went into the red phase, and now it's just a matter of running around and waiting for him to expire. Pretty simple, but you wouldn't think to do that ordinarily because you would just want to kind of rush through this chapter, but this is one of those places where you have to be very methodical, and if you're not patient, you're going to end up getting eaten too much. And for the life of me, I don't know if there's a checkpoint after this. I think there might be, but if anyone can contradict me with valid proof, I would be grateful to know that because that would be really horrible to have to do that previous fight over again, having perished over here. And I do know for certain though that if you get eaten by these enemies here, they're just going to send you back to the screen where we finished off that blitz. So it doesn't send you back all the way. But what I was thinking was, not getting eaten here, but just dying. I don't know. I think you might have to do the blitz fight over, which is really unacceptable. So we're in this area again. We're just trying to leave the jungle, but obviously the web is preventing us from leaving. As they normally do, they don't want you to flee from these fights. So we've got a bunch of flailing enemies. We have a couple of puppets, I think, or not the puppets, but the scarecrow feet. The guys with the blades on their legs. So in a minute, I'm going to perish. And I deliberated about using the gold orb, and after about 10 seconds of vacillating over whether I should do it, I just said yes. See right there, I perished. And then there's the resuscitation because, you know what, I have 2 gold orbs, I know where another one is, and I have, 50,000, that's not very much money, but I could go back to Chapter 7. Did I ever tell you about grinding for money in this game? It's Chapter 7, the very beginning of it. You want to use it's either Chapter, well, I know it's 7, but you can either select Chapter 7 or Chapter 3 is pretty good too. Because both of those stages start with one of those red orb rocks that you can smash, and you want to smash it first with the exceed and then with the devil trigger, and you'll get the most orbs from it, and then you can keep resetting the chapter, or restarting it rather, and then save your data whenever you need to. So since my situation was pretty dire here, I was doing ranged attacks with this, but it takes him forever to throw that fucking blade. It's way too long. But the thing is, you can run around the map and hold the Y button and just charge it up whenever you need to. It's pretty slow too. I would prefer, rather than throwing it, I like the slash that he does, the slashing throw, or the throwing slash, whatever it is. So that's it for this chapter. There's no boss. unfortunately. We will face a boss in the next chapter. It'll be Belial, I believe is his name, the frog. And then we'll also have to fight Burial again. We're going in backwards order. But neither of those two enemies should prove difficult because we have the Devil Trigger Distortion at our behest. See, Chapter 7 will start you right here, and you can get that rock. So just make your way down the shaft. And I will see you guys in Mission 15. We'll have 5 missions left.